Thinking about moving to Texas and not sure where to start? Then tune into this video. Hello my friends, Katie Day with the Moving to Texas team at Coldwell Realty here in Houston, Texas. As a real estate agent in Houston, my team helps families move in and around the greater Houston area. We talk with a lot of clients that are thinking about moving to Texas and don't really know where to start. So here we are. It's never too early to start planning a move or thinking about moving to Texas. We work with clients anywhere from 3 to 6 months out and even a year or two out. So let's dig in. Number 1, visit Houston. Before moving from a different state to Houston, we highly recommend making at least one trip out here to check things out. This way you can get a good feel for the different neighborhoods and locations you might want to live in, different hotspots around town. You'll need to decide if you want to live in a city or in a suburb. There are hotels in all areas of town, so I'd recommend staying in the area that you want to live in. For example, you could stay in a suburb, in a hotel in a suburb, like Sugarland, Katy, Spring, the Woodlands, Pearland, Cypress, or you could opt to stay in town, maybe like Upper Kirby or downtown, the Heights. For a more neighborhood feel, an Airbnb is also a fantastic choice. This brings us to number 2, research neighborhoods and schools. If you have school-age kids or schools are important to you where you live, make sure you research those and that's a high priority for you on your checklist. If you plan to send your child to public school, you need to determine which neighborhoods are associated with your schools of interest. You can use har.com to research schools as well as greatschools.org. Okay, so you've made your trip to Houston, you've determined the area that you want to live in. Now you need to make a budget and start to save. Moving across the state or across the country can get to be pretty expensive. So keep in mind that even if you're planning on moving yourself, you're gonna have to pay for a truck rental or a container, moving supplies and other expenses, right? So to figure out your budget, start with how much you're willing and able to spend on the move, and then start listing out the necessary moving expenses. Remember to always put a little bit of extra money aside for those unexpected expenses. Also, if you're moving for work, check with them to see if they plan or will cover part or all of your moving expenses. Another way you can save some money is to downsize and sell some of your belongings before you move. That obviously would put a little bit more money in your pocket and you're not gonna have to move as much stuff. Okay, so now we come to number 4, which is to find a job. If you haven't made official plans to move here to Texas, one of the cheapest ways to do so is to move with your current employer's support. Perhaps you can work remotely in Texas. Alternatively, many larger companies will sometimes pay some or all of your moving expenses or could even provide some sort of housing stipend. If your company's not going to help with relocation expenses, having that immediate income by transferring your job would obviously help ease any financial stress, which can obviously be pretty common during such a significant move. One side note, if you're looking to rent when you move to Houston and you don't have a job, many landlords are going to expect at least 3 to 6 months of rent in savings, and some may expect up to a year or more in savings. So, moral of the story is you should probably have savings or that job lined up. Okay, once you've secured your employment situation, number 5 is to find a place to live. So depending on how well you know Houston already, I generally recommend people rent for the first maybe 3 to 6 months so you can get a feel for Houston or the city or the area that your neighborhood you're going to be living in. We can help you with both renting and purchasing. Hiring the right realtor is extremely important when moving to another state. A knowledgeable real estate agent should be able to guide you in your house hunting process, and we work with a lot of relocation clients. As I previously said as well, most landlords are going to expect 3 to 6 months of rent and savings, and some may expect up to a year or more rent and savings. As far as timing on finding a place to live, if you're considering renting, most landlords will allow you to secure a new home anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks out. So they're normally not going to hold homes vacant for longer than that without you paying rent and deposits. If you already know the area of town you want to live in and you're thinking about buying, the process normally takes 45 to 90 days from when you start looking to when you actually buy your home, what's called closing, when you can actually move into the new place. For example, if you were to go under contract on a home today, you would normally close in about 30 to 45 days, right? And then working backwards, most people look for their new home for approximately 15 to 30 days. So if you're a few months out or even a year plus out, the most important first step if you're buying is to get pre-approved with a local lender. They're going to help you to be able to navigate the process. They're familiar with local vendors, laws, and the little nuances in the Houston real estate market. Another great thing about talking to a lender a little bit further in advance is that if there are things that you can do to improve your credit now and you have time to do them, you would ideally get a lower interest rate when you actually go to buy your home in a few months or a year or whatever it may be. At the end of the day, whether you are considering renting or buying, a realtor can help you with either. You can browse homes for rent and for sale on har.com. And if you want premium access to our HAR app, send me an email today. Up next, plan ahead and make travel arrangements and start packing your stuff. Make sure you order your moving supplies at least a month before the move so you can start packing as soon as possible. Moving long distance almost always involves making travel arrangements of some sort, so make sure to arrange your travel plans well before the move. Some examples of travel arrangements to consider would be booking plane tickets, car rentals, hotel reservations, or overnight plans if they're needed. Oftentimes it takes moving companies a week or more to deliver your belongings, so make sure you have plans set up for temporary housing or you have a comfortable air mattress. All right, if you are considering moving to Houston, I hope that this gives you a quick overview of some things to think about before you move here. If you liked this video, subscribe to learn more about what it's like to live in Houston. If you're looking to move here, give us a call today. Again, my name is Katie Day, and I'll talk to you soon.